Take first question. Mark here in the second row. Microphone's on its way over.
Kevin, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. I guess you heard a little bit of the end of LeBron's press conference. He was asked about a clip that's gone viral over the last couple of days of the last 2.5 minutes of the timeout between regulation and overtime after game one. The clip shows LeBron kind of, holding his head, staring straight into space, not speaking with anyone, not engaging, not communicating. What's your, and he was asked, should he have done more? Should he have helped more? Should he have coached more? Should he have mentored more? What was your sense during that timeout of just LeBron and the entire team and what you could have maybe done during those 3 minutes?
I think we're just absorbing it and trying to get ready for the extra 5 minutes of basketball. We know that game didn't go the way we wanted to, especially in that last, like you mentioned, 2 minutes of the game. But I think it's human instinct, or in this game of basketball, mistakes are going to happen, and you're going to be frustrated, and there's going to be times where your emotions are going to show in this NBA Finals. Everything's heightened. Things of that nature, unfortunately, do happen, and we were on the wrong side of it. But we came in and played our hearts out, but the game got away from us in overtime.
As a leader, though, should LeBron have done more to pick everybody up, given what had just happened?
I don't know what he had at that point, but he ended the game with 51, 8, and 8. So, he did a lot, and he's been, leading us and been great, not only this season, but, seasons past. But, it's natural for him to put out such a good effort and be frustrated. I think, as he mentioned, he didn't want a situation where he, could have called a timeout, or we didn't have any left, and they're shooting a technical and could win the game in regulation. But tough situation to be in for all of us. But we move on. Game one's out of the way. Game two's out of the way, and like you mentioned, we have a great opportunity tomorrow to make noise here on the home floor.
Chris, next row back.
Hey, Kev. Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. With you guys switching as much as you have in the first couple of games against the Warriors, you've done that at points throughout the course of the year, but it hasn't been your staple defense. So how difficult is it, and what are the challenges of trying to implement that against this particular team at this time of year?
Yeah, it's tough, but we played against this team 4 straight years in the finals. We switched a number of times. We've changed our defenses, and they're a very tough team to guard. So you have to try different things. You have to use defenses that you may not use against other teams throughout the course of the regular season. But our schemes have been there. We forced them into tough shots. The problem is that team is full of especially 3 guys that are some of the all-time best shooters in this league. So we felt like we, Steph being 9 for 17 from the 3-point line, we forced him into tough shots. There was a number that he hit that were contested, some were uncontested, that more often than not that he's going to hit. But our switching and our schemes have been pretty on point, but our communication and making it tough for him can be better at times.
Ashley, right here.
Ashley Bastock, NBC News Radio. Kind of following up on Chris's question, Ty talked about ramping up the physicality when you guys switch on defense. What goes into that, and especially when post players get switched onto their guards? Yeah,
I think more than anything, it's I talked about communication, but physicality is huge for us. But that starts, first play of the game. We have to come out and do that early, and if we do that, we're going to be better off. There's so many times where we kind of wait to let ourselves get into the game, or even if we have a great half of basketball in that third quarter, we let up, and that's really been our Achilles heel, and always been our Achilles heel is that third quarter. So just continue to have that physicality throughout the game, doing it here early, and we're going to have a great opportunity to do it on our home floor tomorrow.
Marla up front.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. George and JR were talking about communication, especially the other night, and it's kind of been a problem all season. Mm-hmm. Just what do you guys have to do to fix this at this crucial time?
I think it's pretty infectious. Once guys start talking and they're loud and continuous with talking loud, and being great with our coverages, that's gonna really help us throughout the entire game. I remember I was sitting in the third quarter and start of the fourth. where I couldn't hear anybody on our side of the ball talking, and that's such a huge thing for us because you kind of speak things into existence. Guys will get out on the switches. Guys won't be able to slip to the basket, and we'll be able to cover for one another. So it's going to be huge for us. We know it's going to be loud. We know that it's going to be tough to hear one another, but we got to be better with that.
Just one more quick thing about that. After the trade deadline, LeBron was hoarse after the games because he was talking so much. Do you almost need to go back to sort of thinking like that?
That would be good. Yeah. Even though we only have 48 hours in between games to get our voices back, it'd be nice to just have that level of communication, because I do think any little bit, any 1%, 10%, whatever you want to call it, that's going to help us.
Dave, last question on the back left.
Dave from Greenwich, ESPN. Kevin, I don't apologize if you already asked about this, but I walked in late. Rodney Hood, what do you guys see from him during the regular season that makes you think that he could have something to contribute to this series?
Yeah, I mean, he's very talented. He's a guy that can step in and fill up a scoreboard, and left-handed, a little bit unorthodox in the way that he plays, and just having that height on him and that wingspan, and the ability to not only make shots but on the defensive end switch out. Also play a guy like KD at his size, and just make it tough on both ends of the floor for their team. So I mean, that gives all of us a lot of confidence that he can come in and make an impact.
Thank you, Kevin.